Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution 2 build, and today we're turning this completely flat desert map and transforming it into ancient Egypt, complete with the mighty Nile River, towering pyramids, and a prehistoric ecosystem filled with some of the most iconic predators to ever live. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another build. Now let's get right into it. The very first thing I wanted to work on was the centerpiece of the entire build, the Nile River. I spent quite a bit of time carving out the shape because I didn't want it to look like just another river. I wanted it to feel massive, like the river that gave life to one of the greatest civilizations in history. Once I was finally happy with the shape, I knew everything else could be built around it. Since we're working on the river, let's talk about the star of this ecosystem, the Spinosaurus. Whenever people think of prehistoric Egypt, Spinosaurus is usually the first dinosaur that comes to mind. And for good reason. It lived in North Africa during the late Cretaceous, and is famous for its long crocodilian-like jaws and giant sail running down its back. Many paleontologists think it spent a lot of time around rivers like this, hunting fish and other prey along the shoreline. That's exactly why I wanted this river to be the heart of the build. After finishing the river, I moved over to the left side and started building a dense jungle stretching all the way down the riverbank. I really wanted a sharp contrast between the lush vegetation and the open desert because I think that contrast makes the entire landscape much more interesting. While I was working on the jungle, I started thinking about Suchomimus. Even though it wasn't discovered in Egypt, it lived in North Africa and belonged to the same family as Spinosaurus. With its long snout and fish-eating lifestyle, I can easily imagine it moving through these dense riverbanks, looking for its next meal. Once the trees were finished, I started filling the riverbanks with tall grass and shrubs and patches of yellow flowers. I added this vegetation to both sides of the river because I wanted the edges to feel alive instead of looking like a hard transition between water and sand. Another dinosaur I knew I wanted to include was Baryonyx. Now, Baryonyx actually lived much farther away in what is now England, but it's another member of the Spinosaur family. Since this build is more of a prehistoric park than a perfectly accurate ecosystem, I thought it would be fun to imagine what it would look like sharing the river with some of its North African relatives. With the rivers finally finished, it was time to start building the pyramids. At first, I placed them exactly where I wanted them, but after comparing everything to my reference image, something just didn't feel right. The desert was way too flat, so I ended up deleting the pyramids completely and started sculpting the landscape instead. I built up terrain and added hills, raised sections of desert, and started creating rolling sand dunes so the pyramids would sit naturally above the river, instead of looking like they had just been dropped onto a flat map. While I was finishing the desert, I couldn't stop thinking about another giant predator that had to be part of this build. Sarcosuchus. Imagine walking down to the river for a drink, only to discover that what looked like a floating log was actually a crocodilian nearly 40 feet long. It's easy to see why people call it Super Croc, and I think adding it to the Nile makes this prehistoric ecosystem feel even more alive. Before we finish the build, I want to answer a question I've been getting a lot lately. A lot of you have been asking if I'm going to switch over to Jurassic World Evolution 3. The answer is yes, just not yet. Right now, I'm saving up for a new gaming PC, and I'm hoping to build one for around $1,700. And I also want to pick up one of the higher editions of Jurassic World Evolution 3 when I'm ready. But honestly, one of the biggest reasons why I'm sticking with the Jurassic World Evolution 2 is because of the amazing modding community. Now, I know JWE3 and JWE2 are the same modding community, but when I finally do switch over to Jurassic World Evolution 3, there's a lot of amazing mods in Jurassic World Evolution 2 that have already been made. Like, there's plenty of incredible new species mods that let me recreate prehistoric ecosystems like this one, and I still have a huge list of locations I want to build before I move on. When I finally do switch over to Jurassic World Evolution 3, I don't just want to continue where I left off. I want to come back and rebuild places like Madagascar, James Ross Island, the Redwood National Park, the Okavango Delta, and even ancient Egypt if I get the chance. from the ground up, using everything the new game has to offer, because I've seen the building mechanics in the new game, and it looks absolutely sick. So don't worry, Jurassic World Evolution 3 is definitely a part of the future of this channel, and with that, the build was finally complete. I had an absolute blast creating this prehistoric version of ancient Egypt, and I honestly think it turned out even better than I imagined. If you enjoyed today's build, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody ask me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so.